What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to our channel Total Technology Zone. This is tutorial 128 and today's topic will be LangChain Runnable. Okay, so in this tutorial I'll be going to do a kind of a deep dive of LangChain Runnable. There are multiple runnables primitives are available. I will try to consider most important runnables. I'll try to actually cover mostly the important ones, like those are mainly used in the real use cases. But if I miss something and if you guys find some interesting use case, you guys can reach out to me. I took some time to plan and design this tutorial, and I actually try to create a very complicated use case for that. Use case is not complicated, but the way I implemented, I try to use mostly all the runnables inside this problem. Okay, so before I move forward, so let me explain you guys a little bit of LangChain Runnable, what exactly runnables are. Okay, so if you see here, so at the top tier, the yellow boxes are basically LangChain components, right? So prompt, LLM, output parser, tool retriever, these are LangChain components. When these components are combined together with the help of LangChain Expression Language or LCEL, they become or the resultant output will be become something called runnable. Okay, or we can call it as a chain as well. Okay, so it means LangChain Expression Language gives a declarative provides a declarative approach to build new runnables. This means whatever you describe, that should happen rather than how it should happen. Okay, and these things are basically using some sort of methods and different classes to optimize the execution, like how your various components can interact with each other, how one component output will be used into the next component, how the components are going to be use LLM, how the output of the LLM will be used to the next component. So those sort of things are basically done with the help of LangChain Runnable. The main composition primitives are runnable sequence and runnable parallel. If you mention something, like if you don't mention anything, by default it will be runnable sequence. But if you want to make it parallel, you have to actually explicitly mention the parallel. Runnable sequence invokes a series of runnables sequentially, means one previous output will be used as an input to the next one, and then previous again will be used as an input to the next one. And how you're achieving this thing, basically use a pipe operator to do this thing. Okay, so and in the LangChain parallel, basically invokes concurrently by providing the same input to each other. Means it basically passes the same input to the multiple runnables or chain and basically achieve a dictionary, construct a dictionary at the final. Okay, runnable can interact with other runnables and LangChain component via runnable interface. So this green thing is actually runnable interface, means the moment you create a LangChain runnable, basically it exposes multiple methods and classes, and those method and classes can interact with other LangChain component and other runnables via this runnable interface only. So all classes, all methods are actually part of this LangChain interface. Means not part of, that is not a right thing, those are actually part of a LangChain runnable. Okay, but how they're connecting or how they're going to interact, that is actually part of the LangChain runnable interface. Okay, so it means interface is kind of working as a wire between your runnable and your other components. The components could be anything. Okay, or even if you're not, you can think about a component could be anything, like in the yellow boxes right here, or probably it could be a another LangChain. On the next slide, if you see here, in this tutorial I'll be going to design this runnable basically. Okay, this is the runnable we are going to develop. So that is why I'm calling it as a deep dive. I'll try to actually use mostly all the runnables primitives and different approach. Hopefully this will help you guys to actually understand the various aspects of LangChain, and hopefully you guys will be able to implement that in your use cases as well. So basically, in nutshell, LangChain means LangChain runnable means you are basically going to create a chain which can be which can actually interact with other components, or maybe you can interact the chain with another chain. So chain wise you can build. So for example, if you see here, I am actually creating some sort of sequential thing right here. So this is actually a complete chain, and within this chain, or this is actually a complex runnable, and within this complex runnable or chain I have multiple like sub chain or sub runnable, we can call it. Okay, there is nothing called sub runnable or sub chain within the LangChain documentation, but I'm saying like if I consider the whole thing as a runnable, so all these things are actually sub runnable, or like some smaller part of the bigger like object, right? So like this. So let's try to actually do this thing, but before go, so the source code is actually available here. Okay, I'll be going to share the source code now. Let me actually minimize this thing. Okay, and let's start the fun part. Okay, so basically I will try to actually take an instruction from a user. Basically user probably, let's try to actually replicate a restaurant scenario, like a user wants to put some order, and in the order user maybe mention what he wants to eat. Based on that, we'll be going to create the runnable or chain. Okay, so let's try to actually do this thing. Okay, so one more thing guys, I'm not considering the theoretical part of this thing, because I have seen a lot of videos, tutorials, and even LangChain documentation. These things are available. Rather than, I'm trying to actually give you guys kind of a gist how you should implement this thing in real world scenario. Okay, so let's try to start working on that part. Okay, so just stay tuned. I'll be going to start the tutorial shortly. All right, so let's start the coding. So first try to import all the necessary modules. So LangChain OpenAI, import chat OpenAI, right? Then okay, so LangChain core, I think runnables. Let's try to import couple of runnables, and later on we'll be going to explain. So first runnable, let's say runnable lambda, runnable pass through, runnable pass through, runnable I think runnable parallel. Okay, runnable lambda, runnable pass through, runnable parallel. Okay, these things are done. Now let's do other parts as well. Okay, so LangChain dot prompts, import chat prompt template and prompt template to measure. I will do it. And last but not least, let's try to import some str output parser. Okay, so okay, so import str output parser and JSON output parser. Okay, I believe these things are done. Okay, let's do LLM. Okay, chat OpenAI. Okay, model. Okay, GPT -40. Okay, done. Then let's create str parser. Okay, so it will be str output parser. Couple of things, those are I'll be going to use. I'll be just importing those things. Okay, done. Next, now first try to actually get the output from the user. Means user will say something. Based on that, we have to actually identify the dish name whatever user wants to eat, and we want to actually categorize the dish, like whether it's an Indian dish or Chinese, whatever. Okay, so for that, what we'll do, we'll be going to actually create something called a class actually. Okay, so class. Okay, and then let's say cuisine, SINE. So cuisine. Okay, so this is basically this model from Pydantic. So I need to import from Pydantic. Okay, Pydantic import base model. Okay, okay, base model, and other than that we have to import this field. So I will just mention base model here. Okay, and what I have couple of things, like first thing I have the dish name. Okay, name, and I have, what is this, I don't know. Okay, so this name is obviously, I think, string, and field. Okay, and there you can mention description. I can just write name of the dish which user wants to have. Okay, then type. Okay, so str. Okay, and field, and I just write description, cuisine type, like Indian or Spanish, etc. Okay, all done. Right, now let's try to create something called parser object, and it should be JSON output parser, and inside that I just write identical object will be cuisine, right? Done. Now let's try to create a template. Okay, so for that, what I did, I actually created the template here. Okay, because I was trying to make it a little bit faster, because none of you are interested to watch the tutorial longer. So you are an intelligent AI assistant acting as a smart friendly waiter in a global cuisine restaurant. Your job is to read the user sentence about what they feel like eating and return the type of the cuisine from the defined list below. The dish name or main food related phrases mentioned in their input. Okay, so now let me think what is missing here. I need to actually mention some predefined list, but I think it is not required. The cuisine type, like Indian, Italian, etc. use your knowledge to identify it. Okay, then this name. Okay, it is fine. Done. Now then what will happen here, we'll be just going to do something like user query. Okay, and then format instructions. I'll tell you why I did that, so you will understand shortly. So prompt will be prompt template. Okay, then let's say template equals to template. Okay, then input variables, there I'll be just going to write query, right? And then partial variable will be a dictionary with format underscore instructions. Okay, it will be what the parser object I created dot get format instruction. Done, right? Then what will happen, I will be going to create a chain out of it. Okay, because I want to know what is going to be the main thing. So what I do, I just going to write my master chain. This is my master chain. Okay, I call it as a master chain. Inside that there will be multiple chain will be there. So how this master chain will be generated? So prompt, okay, right? Then LLM, and then we have to this parser. So guys, so the way I write this thing here with pipe separated, that is called an LCL language. So basically, as I told you at the beginning, if you guys remember, this LCL languages are this LCEL language help us to combine all these components together to build a chain. See, these are the components. When I combine them with the help of LCEL, it gives me a chain. That is what we are trying to do. Now I have to actually pass an input, right? Here, if you remember, this is the query, right? So how actually we are going to pass it? So now the thing, so I just don't want to actually generally if you write, let me write response equals to master chain dot invoke. Okay, and then what you have to do, you have to write query here like this. You have to pass this variable like this, and here you have to write something, right? I want to eat tandoori chicken. Okay, so let's see what will be the answer. Print, obviously it is going to be a dictionary because I said I just want the result in this format like name and type. Okay, so let's try to do it. It will be a JSON and these two things will be there. Okay, so if you see, it is like that. Okay, so it's working fine in there. Now my first this is LCL and this is already we created one chain, right? So now first thing, now I'll be going to replicate this thing first, and let's try to do. Okay, so mainly I don't want to actually invoke this thing with this way. I just want to directly pass this thing. Okay, to do that, what we have to do, we have to write something like this, then this, and here we'll be going to write query. Okay, and after that we can just simply write runnable pass through. Runnable pass through basically takes the input from the previous step and pass it to the next step. So basically if I write like this, okay, then this, and then this, and then okay, so if you see here, So now if I send this as an input, this input will be received by this runnable pass through, this runnable primitive or class, and it will be assigned to this query, and then this query will be passed to this prompt. This is a variable, this query is variable, and this dictionary will be passed here. So in this way the LCL setup will help us to build the complex chain. Okay, and now whatever we developed here, that is another very interesting thing. I am not sure whether this is already done before in the internet. So get graph. Okay. Okay, and str, I think output file path, and we just write chain.png. So whatever we developed we'll be able to see here in a graph format. Okay, all right, so whatever we have created here, that will be available as a PNG here. Okay, so let's execute. We'll be able to see a PNG file here. So if you see, so this is what we developed just now: parallel input, pass through, prompt template, then LLM, then JSON output parser, then JSON output parser is our final output. Okay, so that is what we developed. Now I don't want to actually finish it here. So first we got the name of our dish and type, right? So what next? So we want to actually offer a dessert item to the user based on whatever he has ordered. Based on that we can actually give the user some sort of like dessert item. Okay, so let's try to do that. Okay, so let's see. So for that what we do, we will try to actually get a dessert item from the user. Okay, so for that first what we do, we go here and we create a runnable parallel. Okay, and this runnable parallel means it will execute multiple chains at the same time with the same input. Okay, so let's create an dictionary main dish. So what is the main dish name here, right? So lambda of x is going to be x of name, means we are receiving this one from here. The value of the dictionary, the key will be assigned here. Okay, so if you do, you'll be able to see main dish equals to tandoori chicken. Okay, so if I just delete. Okay, so let's see. If you see here, the main dish is actually tandoori chicken. So now I want to actually pass another chain here. Okay, like this. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just going to write a dessert item. Okay, dessert, whatever. Okay, dessert. Okay, so like DSSERT. Now how the dessert will be? No, it should be like first I'll be just going to write runnable pass through. Okay, runnable pass through means again the same thing. Runnable pass through means it is going to receive this one, and from this one I want to actually run a RunnableLambda. RunnableLambda is actually another runnable. Okay, runnable pass through we'll just now learn, runnable parallel you also learn, and now we'll be going to do RunnableLambda. And RunnableLambda, inside that I just going to write get dessert, right? So this will receive this one, this big thing, and after that with that thing I'm just calling RunnableLambda with this function means now I want to actually get a desired item for this div. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so there I'll be just going to pass an input. Okay, right, so I just want to write type equals to input of type means this type, and now what we'll do, I'll be just going to write some sort of prompt and template and prompt to get the desired. Is a template will be like you are an multi-cuisine dessert specialist. Based on the user dessert type, you have to suggest a nice dessert name to be served to the user. Reply with dessert name only, nothing else. Like that we'll be going to create a template. Okay, let's write you are an multi-cuisine dessert specialist. Okay, you have to suggest a dessert name based on the user dessert type. Reply should be only dessert name, nothing else. Okay, done. Then let's create a prompt. I think prompt equals to chat prompt template dot from template. Inside that I will just write template. Okay, template, and then we just write chain equals to prompt plus LLM, right? And then we are just going to return chain dot invoke and type will be this variable type, right? So now what will happen, now if I execute this thing, I'll be going to get a main dish name and a dessert as well from here. So let's execute. Okay, right, so what is this runnable? Okay, I just forget to actually parse this thing with the string output parser. So str parser, that's it. So now let's see. Okay, so if you see it, main dish is tandoori chicken and dessert is gulab jamun cheesecake. Fine, based on the Indian dish we got it, right? So till now if I go and check my chain, you see we already built a very complex chain, right? See, parallel input, this is actually up to this point we got the first dictionary, then actually we are passing through and then we get the dessert input. Okay, and from there here this is actually lambda and this is our dessert output, then the final output, this one. Okay, right, so this is actually this one single one is this one, this single one is this one, this side, and this main thing is actually first it is going to the pass through, then actually it is getting the input, then actually it is going to the output parser from the function, then lambda, etc. A lot of things are happening here. Okay, right, this is a get dessert input, this is a function, right? Get dessert, if you remember, pass through, then get dessert lambda function, and basically it is using str output parser as well. So first we are passing this to chat OpenAI, then output, and how we are generating output from the output parser and the parallel, right? So done. Now basically what is pending? Okay, right, so we got what we got. Let's execute one more time. Okay, so dessert is actually this one. Now Let's go and put this thing here, and now actually we want to generate the recipe, means recipe for main dish and recipe for this one. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll be going to create a list with this thing. Okay, means we can create something like menu. Okay, is lambda of x equals to x dot values. Okay, and that will be list of x dot values. So we'll be going to get a list, means there'll be a dictionary menu, and these things will be available there, that these two items will be available in the form of a list here. So I got this thing. Now what will happen, now I want to actually get the recipe, now the recipe for this two. Okay, right? So for that, what we'll do, we'll be going to create RunnableLambda for recipe. Okay, so RunnableLambda, and we just write a function get recipe. Okay, so this get recipe function we are going to define, and this is going to take this dictionary as an input. Okay, right? So let's define a function here. Okay, so let's do, okay, and menu, we are receiving the menu as a dictionary, right? So items equals to menu of menu. My variable name is menu, and the dictionary key is also menu here, if you see menu. So I got the list here. Now with this list we have to just iterate through this list, right? So what I do, I just copy this part again. Okay, you are an multi-cuisine chef specialist or specialist chef. You have to generate unique and authentic, generate unique, authentic, authentic and healthy recipe for the menu. Reply should be only recipe, nothing else. Okay, this is done. Prompt is actually check from template chain equals to prompt this str output parser. Now we have to create something called recipes. Okay, list, and we have to actually iterate through this list. So for item in items, right, and I can simply write item. Okay, okay, and what we'll do, recipe equals to chain dot invoke. Okay, item, okay, equals to what, item, right? My variable name is item, and this is also item, right? And then I'll be just going to add this thing here. So recipes dot append equals to recipe, right? And last but not least, we are just going to return the recipe. Okay, done. Fine, this is also done. Now what will happen, now we are going to get this thing here, okay, in the menu. Okay, one by one. So what we'll do, just thinking, this is runnable lambda, then this is done recipe, and then let me actually execute this thing and see. So menu, it is saying one, this menu is not there. Get recipe has nothing called menu. It does not require menu. I did a mistake. Okay, like this, it is not required here. So let it generate. Okay, okay, so see, the things are generated here, right? Okay, and actually I did a mistake. I don't want to actually make it as a list. So what I'll do, so recipes equals to recipes plus recipe. Okay, right, and then to new line. Okay, so let's execute. What is this? Okay, sorry guys, sorry. So it should be a blank list, sorry, blank string. Okay, fine. Okay, done. Cool. Now suppose you want to actually render it to some UI or some places. So there probably you will have some limitation of, like, let's say of showing it in less than 100 or something like that. So uh, if the final output is greater than 100 words, I want to actually make it as a summary of this thing. Okay, so for that what we need something called runnable branch. Okay, runnable branch. Okay, so now what will happen, runnable branch like this. Okay, and here we'll be going to write our first condition. So first condition will be lambda of x, means this string, this recipe string. Okay, and the length of x dot split split. Okay, greater than 150. If it is greater than 150, then what we do, we'll be going to actually we'll be going to call something called RunnableLambda, and we'll be going to write get summary. We'll be going to summary of this thing. So what we do here, I'll be just going to write another function here. Okay, summary. Summary and text, and the same thing we do here. You are an expert summary writer. Provide summary for text. Okay, done. Template is here. Okay, and like this template, state password chain, and here return chain dot invoke. Okay, text equals to this text, whatever is coming from the input. Okay, so this is done, and if the condition is actually true, not true, then basically this is finished here, I think, right? I think this is finished here, this tuple is finished here. Yeah, this tuple finished here. Okay, this lambda thing, this lambda here, this runnable branch here, and this lambda function is, I need this function here. Okay, and here what we'll be going to do, runnable pass through, means whatever is coming that will be printed, means the final recipe will be only coming. Okay, done. Finally, let's clear this thing. Okay, and let's try to say I want to eat let's lasagna. Okay, let's see what is going to happen. Lasagna is an Italian recipe. Okay, done. So as I said, it is going to give you a kind of summary. This healthy multi-cuisine lasagna recipe is garlic, bell pepper layers with carrot. The lasagna assembled in layers with wet mozzarella, wholesome top with low-fat mozzarella, and baked in contain is garnished with fresh serving. Also, so maybe something I want to understand, like let's say this is summary. Let me check what is the recipe. Yeah, so it is only returning the recipe, it is not returning the recipe, that is why the summary was not correct. So if you see recipe is equals to this, return, copy and paste. Okay, let's execute and let's see what is coming here. So if you find some mistake, you have to fix it, that is the thing. Okay, so I'm super excited and happy to finish the tutorial on time, and after this thing is done, we'll be going to check our graph. Okay, I mean this PNG. Okay, yeah, if you see here, this is actually a desired item, right? And now if I go to chain, okay, so clear, and the last one is actually branch. Okay, fine. I hope you guys happy to see this deep dive tutorial on LangChain Runnable. But before I conclude, I would like to say a couple of things. If you remember at the beginning, I showcased like there are a couple of methods are available in the LangChain Runnable. For example, like here we are just using invoke, right? So this is actually chain, so it has something called batch method, it has a batch method, it has a invoke method, like it has stream, it has as stream. So invoke is actually non as synchronous. If you made it a at the beginning, it will become asynchronous invoke. Batch means if you have multiple inputs are there, you can easily get the output. Okay, so that is called batch. Then a batch means asynchronous way. You can run batches for multiple inputs. Suppose you have multiple inputs, you can actually try that. Then we have stream. If you want to stream the input, so probably you can use chain.stream, and a stream is asynchronous stream. There are other things are available, like you can use Runnable as a tool. For example, this is my chain, master underscore chain dot as tool. You can use that method as tool, then it will become a tool, and that tool you can use inside another agent. Those sort of things are there, and I did not consider for this tutorial because those are very simple, and just one-liner code is available in the LangChain documentation. So if you have a question that why I did not consider this thing, the objective is for this tutorial to target the most important or mostly used components from the LangChain Runnable. Okay, so this primitives like lambda, pass-through, parallel, branch, mostly this runnable primitives are used in the company, and as well as branch, a batch, batch, a batch, invoke, a stream, normal stream, asynchronous normal streams. Those things are also used, but those are very self-explanatory. You guys can actually write one-liner code to understand those things. So that is why I did not consider those things. Okay, and this type of use cases or examples are not available in the internet. I didn't find it. Maybe it could be there, I'm not sure, but I tried to actually find it. So I did not find this type of complete slowly and hands-on driven approach, practical approach. I thought of creating this thing, and whatever I am doing in my like work for my client and customer, we use mostly this types of runnables only. If you know this type of runnables, probably your job is over. And obviously there are other runnable primitives are available. You can go through the documentation, you will be able to run it. Okay, that's it guys, that's it for today. Before I conclude the video, I would like to say, guys, please try to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, try to share my videos as much as possible with your family member, friend, whoever you think will get some benefit out of it. And last but not least, guys, this is my humble request that I need to grow. So if possible, try to put some comment, because YouTube algorithm will check some sort of engagement. If I am able to generate maximum number of engagement, my video will be pushed by the YouTube algorithm, so that I will reach to the large number of audience base. So it's a request, guys, please try to help me to grow. I would like to grow my channel. I would like to reach to the large number of audience, so please help me grow, and I'm promising that I will come back with nice and quality content again, hopefully by tomorrow. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, have a nice day, happy learning, and good day.